So good morning, children. Okay, so did you receive any homework yesterday? Have you all done it? Have you all done the homework? Good morning. Good morning. Have you all uploaded the file? Uploaded all your answers? Very good. Okay, so that shows that you all have learned it also because it was given as learn and write. Okay, so very good, children. You all have uploaded your homework. So happy to see that many of you have done it. And I did not get answer from everybody whether you have done your homework or not. See, we are taking steps to make you learn because maybe after 1 month you all may have to report to the school. Anytime we may get an announcement to come to the school. After you come to the school, you should not, okay, have a problem of writing, learning, and anything. The same process what we do in the school, same way you all have to. Good, Ashwin. Good. Okay, same way you all have to practice at home so that when you come back to school, it will be very easy for you. Otherwise, you may not have the practice of writing. Okay, so you will be lagging over there. Good, good. For everybody, whoever has done the homework, it's very good. Okay, fine, children. Yes, very good, Niranjana. Good. Aditya. So many of you have done the homework. I hope that you all have uploaded everything. So I will check it out today. Yes, and your material, as I said, lithosphere 2, you will be getting it today very shortly as soon as the class gets over. So you can check out the material. Fine, children. Okay, so let us continue the revision where we left yesterday. Then only, good Gayatri. So then only you will know how to learn the answer for that lesson. Because you have more questions in these two lessons. When we take geography, the lesson will be easy, but we have to learn the number of questions. Okay, fine. So let us see to the revision now. Today I will start from distinguished because very few distinguished only we have learned. Physical and chemical weathering, we have learned it. So same thing you have to learn. It has 3 points. Okay. First one, you have to write about what is physical weathering, what is chemical weathering on either sides. Then what will happen, effect of the physical weathering on both the sides you have to write. Then examples you have to give. Exfoliation, block disintegration, granular disintegration are the different types of weathering, physical weathering. The agents of chemical weathering are oxygen, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen. Oxygen, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen. These are the agents of chemical weathering. Okay, next one, delta and estuary. Delta and estuary. So here let us see now delta estuary, a triangular shaped low-lying area formed by the river. At its mouth is called a delta, that also we have learned. Estuary is formed where the rivers meet the sea. I said yesterday this question we will learn later. So that is why I am showing it to you now. A triangular shaped low-lying area formed by the river. At its mouth is called delta. Estuary is formed where the estuaries estuary is formed where the rivers meet the sea. Okay, next one. Deltas have fine deposits of sediments enriched with minerals. Deltas have fine deposits of sediments enriched with minerals. Here on the other side, deposition of silt by the river is not possible in the estuaries like delta, as if the waves keep on eroding the deposits, example, river Narmada, river Tapti. So here, what is this place called? Estuary, the deposits are not possible. Even though if something is get deposited in that place, what happens? The waves come and erode all that deposits. So the deposition cannot take place in the estuaries. All will get washed away. Okay, so these are the 2 points you have to write for deltas and estuaries. And we have learned stalactite and stalagmite. Next one, longitudinal and transverse sand dunes. Longitudinal dunes are long, narrow ridges of sand which extend in a direction parallel to the prevailing winds. These dunes are called Saif in Sahara. In Sahara, these dunes are named as Saif. Okay, Saif in Sahara. Transverse sand dunes, you can see. Transverse dunes are asymmetrical in shape. They are formed by alternate slow and fast winds that blow from the same direction. They are formed by alternate slow and fast winds that blow from the same direction. Next one, Inselbergs and Yardens. So for Inselbergs and Yardens, you can see there are 2 points you have to write. So Inselberg, certain hard rocks like igneous rocks are more resistant to wind action. More resistant to wind action. Here Yardens, in arid regions, desert regions, certain rocks have hard and soft layers arranged vertically. Okay, in arid regions, certain rocks have hard and soft layers arranged vertically. Inselbergs, we have to talk about that hard rocks, like igneous rocks, are more resistant to wind action. Next point, isolated residual hills rising abruptly from their surrounding are termed as Inselberg. Okay, so example, Uluru or Ayers Rock, Australia. Isolated residual hills rising abruptly from their surroundings are termed as Inselbergs. Example, Uluru or Ayers Rock in Australia. Next one, on the other side, when winds blow over these rocks, the soft layers get eroded, leaving irregular crests. These are called yardungs. These are called yardungs. So have you learnt it? This Inselberg, you can even add a point called, this is otherwise called Island Mountain. Okay, this is otherwise called Island Mountain. I hope you remember now. Next one, spit and bar. Okay, spit is a ridge or embankment of sediment attached to the land on one end and terminating in open water on the other end. Spits are common at the mouth of estuaries. So it is a ridge or embankment of sediment attached to the land on one side, okay, and terminating in open water on the other side, other end. So these pits are common at the mouth of estuaries. Example, Kakinada spit. Bar. A bar is an elongated deposit of sand, shingle, or mud found in the sea almost parallel to the shoreline. Found in the sea almost parallel to the shoreline. So here you have to write only 1 point. What is spit? What is bar? That's it. Okay, next one. Give reasons. So we have totally 3 give reasons. Chemical weathering is predominant in hot and humid zones. Why? Chemical weathering is predominant in hot and humid zones because the warm temperature and rainfall increases the chemical weathering. It encourages the decomposition of plant matter to produce chemicals such as humic acids, and carbon dioxide. We have learned it, but anyhow, I'm just recalling it for you to understand. These chemicals increase the rate of weathering. These chemicals increase the rate of weathering. Next one, silt deposits are less at estuaries than deltas. Silt deposits are less at estuaries than deltas because the waves keep on eroding the deposits. Okay, example, River Narmada and Tapi. Now here the next question, wind can possibly erode the rocks from all sides. Wind erosion can occur in any area where the soil or sand is not compacted or if it is finely granulated in nature. Compacted means when the soil cannot have the capacity of hold water, the soil particles will become loose. Okay, so it is if it is finely granulated in nature, that's what is given there. It's like a grain when it is very loose. There, wind erosion can occur in any area. Okay, so this wind can loosen the materials and send it in all direction. It loosen all the materials and take all the particles, send it in all direction wherever it moves, whichever direction the wind moves. So 2 points you have to write. Next one, answer in paragraph, write a note on weathering, classify and explain. Okay, children, why I am telling you is in the today, I don't know, today or tomorrow you will be getting another homework where you will have to learn and write all the detailed answers in first lesson. After that, you will be getting for in the second lesson. So that I am telling you how to write the answers. Okay, write a note on weathering. First, you have to give the meaning of weathering. Weathering is the disintegration and decomposition of materials of the earth crust by their exposure to atmosphere. So there are three types of weathering: physical weathering, chemical weathering, and biological weathering. So this is the introduction. Then you have to write about physical weathering. Physical weathering, it is a breakdown of rocks without changing their chemical composition through the action of physical forces. The constant freezing and thawing of rocks, expanding of rocks during the night and day leads to the expansion and contraction of rocks. So cracks are formed and disintegration occurs eventually. Exfoliation, block disintegration, granular disintegration, etc. are the different types of weathering. Etc. are the different types of weathering. Next one, let us see chemical weathering. Disintegration and decomposition of rocks due to chemical reaction is called chemical weathering. This is predominantly high in the hot and humid regions such as equatorial region, tropical region, and subtropical zone. Chemical weathering takes place through the process of oxidation, carbonation, solution, and hydration. Okay, second point you have learned. Yes. So third one, the agents of chemical weathering are oxygen, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen. See children, this answer you had learnt in your distinguish. Yes. So the same answer also you can write it here. If you want to learn these 3 points, whatever points you have written there in distinguish, those points you can write in points here. Write as a points here. Okay. So even for the physical weathering, you can write that. Next one, biological weathering. Biological weathering occurs due to the penetration and expansion of plant roots, earthworms, burrowing animals, rabbit, rats, and some human activities. So even this biological weathering you had learnt in your answer in brief. Okay, second question. That same answer you can write. Okay, that same answer. So regarding this first question, if you see, physical weathering already you learnt in your distinguish. Chemical weathering you had learnt in your distinguish. Biological weathering you had learnt in your 2 mark. So all these you can put together. Only thing is you have to give some introduction. What is weathering and what are the three types of weathering? Okay, even define weathering also you have learnt in your 2 marks. So you need not learn anything separately for this question. All you have learnt already. Next one, Explain the erosional landforms formed by underground water. So most erosion, you have to give the introduction. Most erosion takes place due to the process of solution when rainwater mixes with the carbon dioxide and enters into a limestone region. It dissolves and destroys much of the limestone. So limestone will easily get dissolved. Okay, as a result, landforms such as Terra rosa, lapis, sinkholes, swallowholes, dolens, uvalas, polges, caves, and caverns are formed. Yes, so you have to give introduction like this, then you have to explain about all the landforms. Terra rosa, Italian term for red soil, deposition of red clay soil on the surface of the earth due to the dissolution of limestone content in rocks. The redness of the soil is due to the presence of iron oxide. Presence of iron oxide. Next one, lapis. When the joints of limestone rocks are corrugated by groundwater, okay, long furrows are formed and these are called lapis. These are called lapis. Next one, you have to write what is sinkhole. A funnel shaped depression formed due to the dissolution of limestone rock is called sinkhole. Their average depth ranges between 3 to 9 meters. 3 meter to 9 meter. Next one, caves and caverns. Caves and caverns are subterranean feature of karst topography. Caves, what is cave? You have to write. Caves are hollows that are formed by the dissolution of limestone rocks when carbon dioxide in air turns into carbonic acid after its reaction with water. Okay, they vary in size and shape. Caverns, now you have to write about caverns. Caverns are the caves with irregular flows. Example, Guptadam caves in western Bihar. Guptadam caves in western Bihar. Next one, all types of deposits in the caves and caverns are collectively called speleotherms, which includes travertines, tufa, dripstones. Okay, so swallow holes, uvalas, dolines, polges are other erosional features of karst regions predominant in other parts of the world. So what is the question asked here? Explain the erosional landforms formed by underground water. So you have to give introduction. What are all the different landforms formed by that okay, underground erosional landforms? Then you have to explain any five. Okay, any five landforms. That is why here it is given. Okay, next one. Any five, no, here only four are given, so you can write only that four. Next one, what is a glacier? Explain its types. A glacier is a large mass of ice that moves slowly over the land from its place of accumulation. From its place of accumulation. It is also known as a river of ice. The place of accumulation is called snowfield. The height above where there is a permanent snow cover is in the higher altitude or latitude is called snow line. The height above the permanent snow cover in the higher altitude or latitude is called snow line. Higher the latitude, lower the snow line from sea level. The gradual transformation of snow into granular ice is called firn or névé, and finally it becomes solid glacial ice. Finally, it becomes solid glacial ice. Next one, movement of glacier. The large mass of ice creates pressure at its bottom and generates heat. Due to the heat, the glacier melts a little and starts to move. The rate of movement of a glacier varies from a very few centimeters to several hundred meters a day. Okay, the movement of glaciers depend on slope, volume of the glacier, thickness, roughness at the bottom, etc., and temperature. Like the rivers, glaciers also carry out erosion, transportation, and deposition. Okay, children, now listen carefully. Here you have to see the question properly. What is a glacier? Explain its types. So you have to write what is a glacier. Then you can go ahead with the types. I have given you the answer here. If you want to take it from the book also, you can take it from the book and write. So I have given you the possible answer. What you can do, you can write only what is glacier and two or three characteristics of that glacier you can write. You need not write this movement of glacier. If you can add a point, you can add a point towards a glacier. You need not write as a separate heading. Okay, so movement of the glacier you need not write. So straight away you can go to types of glacier. So see here, glaciers are broadly divided into two types based on the place of occurrence, such as continental glacier and valley glacier. Glaciers are broadly divided into two types based on the place of occurrence, such as continental glacier and valley glacier. Continental glacier and valley glacier. These are the two types of glaciers. Okay, children. So the movement of glacier points, two or three points or one or two points, you can add to the glacier itself, the introduction, and then you can write about the types of glacier. Okay. So next one, describe the depositional work of winds. Deposition occurs when the speed of wind is reduced by the presence of obstacles like bushes, forest, and rock structures. Okay, when the wind carries the materials, what happen? It may get blocked by the mountains or trees or some kind of small plants or bushes. Yes, that is what is given here. The sediments carried by wind get deposited on both the windward and leeward side of the obstacles. So on the side where the wind blows and the opposite side of that also, the particles, carried particles will get deposited. Some of the depositional landforms are sand dunes, barchans, and loess. Some of the depositional landforms are sand dunes, barchans, and loess. Then you have to write about what is sand dune, what is barchan, okay? Then you can write about loess. Here you can see sand dune. In desert during sandstorms, wind carries loads of sand. When the speed of wind decreases, huge amount of sand gets deposited. These mounds or hills of sand are called sand dunes. Okay, there are different types of sand dunes. Next one, barchan. Barchans are isolated crescent-shaped sand dune. They have gentle slope on the windward side and steep slope on the leeward side. Transverse dunes. Next one, transverse dunes. Transverse dunes are asymmetrical in shape. They are formed by alternate slow and fast winds that blow from the same direction. Next one, longitudinal dunes. Longitudinal dunes are long, narrow ridges of sand which extend in a direction parallel to the prevailing winds, and these dunes are called safe in Sahara. All these answers you had learned previously. Just you have to put everything together under this question. Loess. The term loess refers to the deposits of fine silt and porous sand over a vast region. Extensive loess deposits are found in northern and western China, pampas of Argentina, in Ukraine, and in the Mississippi Valley of the United States. Fine, children. Next one, give a detailed account on the three order of landforms. Okay, children, this fifth question is that not there. In case if you get this material, please strike out this question. 3 order of landforms is not there. This 5th question is not there. Okay, fine. Only 4 detailed questions in this lesson. You need not learn the 5th one. Okay, the last one, what we are going to say is, consider the given statements and choose the right option given below. So I-shaped valley is an erosional feature of the river. U-shaped valley is an erosional feature of the glacier. V-shaped valley is an erosional feature of the glacier. So which is the correct one? Which statement is a correct statement? Only the second statement is the correct statement. U-shaped valley is an erosional feature of the glacier. So that is the correct statement. So whatever is highlighted here in red color, that is the answer. Next one, statement 1 and statement 2 given. Running water is an important agent of gradation. Statement 2, the work of the river depends on the slope of land on which it flows. Okay, so what is the answer here? Statement 1 is false and statement 2 is true. So statement 1 is false and 2 is true. This is the answer which is given in red color. Option A is the answer. Next one, final one. Limestone regions have less underground water. The reason, water does not percolate through limestone. So what is the answer here? The statement and reason are right. The statement and reason are right. Okay. These hard questions are given to you. High order thinking skills. Hard means what? High order thinking skills. It is just for your doubt clearance. You need not learn this. Hard questions are given in between and at the end of the book also it is given. So it is just for you. If you have any doubt regarding the lesson or some concept, you can read this, you will understand. Okay, so is wind the only gradational agent in the desert? Underground water is more common in limestone areas, and the river channels in the lower coast are wider than the upper coast. All these are the hard questions. And here, even this also in text hard question, you need not learn all that. It is just to give you information. Is weathering a prerequisite in the form of soil? Then snow line of Alps, they have asked. Map skill, we will practice it in the next class. Okay, map work we will practice it in the next class. Fine, children. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me now. The lesson is over. The material will be posted to you. So ma'am has posted the material. It is there. As I said, the 5th detailed question is not there. If you have any doubt, yes. Yes, regarding the map, Siona has asked me, is there map for exam? Yes, map revision will be given to you separately. I will tell you in the next class what are the maps you have to get ready. Fine, children. So thank you all. Check out the material. As I said, follow the instruction. You need not learn the hard question and you need not learn the 5th detailed answer. Fine. So thank you all. We will meet in the next class.